Would the worry then be that the risk is further down the chain? So the building itself will still be used, but then the bigger part of the capex is now it's sort of inverted, right? So the really expensive part comes after you've added the building.
Absolutely. So this makes it different than cloud going back 10, 15 years where, a $100 million data center fully fit out with mechanical electrical plant. The servers inside are going to cost 400 or 500 million because the GPUs are just so much more expensive than the CPUs were in the cloud era. And so one thing that kind of strikes me is that in the AI era, we haven't seen a hardware replenishment cycle. So let's just take companies like Microsoft, which has something like an $85 billion run rate capex, and Amazon, Google, Meta, are all kind of in that zip code. And that's all for growth for the most part. But at some point, all these H100s that companies of the ones that I mentioned, which were purchased a couple of years ago and only maybe in year 2 of operation, these things have limited useful lives, and it's up for debate as to how long GPUs last, but it might be anywhere from 4 to 7 years. And when they have to replace them, either because they physically wear out or they become technically obsolete, that's going to require a lot of capex on top of this $80-90 billion run rate that we're seeing. So we're a couple of years away from that. And so I think hyperscale capex is going to continue to grow at a pretty healthy clip for another 2 years. And then after that, these companies are going to have to ask themselves the question, do we see adequate return on all this AI infrastructure investment that we made? And if the answer is yes, then the capex is going to go up even further. And many of these companies that I mentioned are free cash flow positive and can, but not all of them are.